What is up, everybody in the YouTube? Welcome back to another video on Deltarune Hypothesis. This is probably one of my favorite fan games, up there with Undertale Yellow. I don't know, it feels like a bunch of mini fan games all in one. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're going with taking shelter. Entering the town shelter. Hold on. You are given a lot of time to reflect on yourself. Hypothetically, what if some point the vessel and Kris had a heart-to-heart where they could talk to each other? You still have something to do. I know Hypothesis is still in its demo phase, but I am enjoying it so far. I really do like it. Open the door. I really did like the D&D session with Papyrus and Sands. I guess Kris took their heart out again. It's cold. You can't feel your legs. You can't feel your arms. You can't feel. I guess we're going up. No. Please. Just a little more time. I need to take a minute. I don't want to leave. Because the second we do, I stop existing. I've been gone for so long now, and yet nobody even noticed. It's like I was never there. Do you know what that feels like? To be tossed aside? Replaced? Yeah, the vessel knows that right off the bat in Undertale. I mean, Deltarune. I'm sorry. No, of course you don't. I hate this. I hate watching the world move on. Watching everyone I care about. Just keep going without me. It's too much. Everything's changing so fast. It's hard to keep up. It's funny, isn't it? What is? Ever since you showed up, your life has gotten so much better. New friends, whole magical world to escape to. Even your own dorky brother to talk to. Do you even think about what happens if you let me be myself again? How everyone will react? What if they don't like it? What if they miss you? they'd start asking, "What's wrong with Kris? Why is Kris acting weird again?" That's not true. Of course it's true. Don't act like you haven't noticed. They like you more than me. Always have. I'm not the one saving the world. I'm not anyone's hero. You could be. All I have done on this adventure is make things worse. I almost got Mom killed by opening that fountain. For all I know, I could have ended the world. I've always been a burden. Don't say that. Why? Do you want me to leave so I can be your puppet again? The world needs you. It doesn't matter. You need me gone. For the first time, I'm in control. And I'm going to stay here. It's not like anyone's waiting for me out there anyway. Go away. I can't go anywhere. Why? Why would you care about me? You barely even know me. You're important. For what? Well, to both, I guess. I don't understand. But I think I needed to hear that. All this time I thought it was you making things better. It feels like someone else's life. Can I ask you something? Will I ever get to be myself again? Hopefully. I don't know if I believe that yet. But maybe I want to try. This is too much. And I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I'll be able to be ready. I don't know if I'll ever be ready. They need this. Hey. What happens if we make the wrong choice? What if we fail? Don't worry. The world ending, it will be a hard fault. And me, I'll have to spectate it all. Powerless. Trapped in my own body, watching everything fall apart. How could I not worry? We'll do it together. You're right. These past adventures, they've been terrifying, overwhelming, but also fun. I mean, we've already faced so much. Dark fountains, strange worlds. And yet, the worst is probably still ahead. The roaring. It could come. And still, you believe in me. Okay, well, listen. If we're going to save the world, then I'll do my part. Just promise me one thing. In case I'm never myself again, you'll take care of Mom, Dad, everyone. It feels easy for people to be sad these days. And yet, despite everything, Even with the world on the brink of disaster, you still have held on to hope. I trust you'll share that hope with everyone, just like you shared it with me. For their safety, I'll try to stay out of your way. But promise me this too. Don't forget to come visit me sometimes. This has been nice. I promise. Thank you. Thank you for everything. I don't know where I'd be without you. But I'm ready now. Ready to leave. We've got a world to save, don't we? Dang. It kind of feels like one of those webcomics that were all over YouTube at the height of Undertale's popularity. A towering pile of mattresses looms over you. You can almost imagine how cozy it would feel to lie down. Sadly, you're too short to climb up and take a nap. You try to use some sort of ancient communication device. You struggle to make sense of the peculiar spin you control. Oh, that's one of those rotary phones, I guess. No, that's a rotary phone. You inspect a battery-powered desk fan with metal blades and missing guard. You put it down in fear of losing the finger. The door is locked. The corkboard displays instructions for rationing and emergency contacts. In its center, a motivational poster proudly declares, "Hang in there." You feel slightly more motivated. Half-eaten cans of tuna with bite marks around the lid. You borrow the shelter's inventory. You browse and not borrow it. Stacked cans of tuna, plenty of water bottles, and packs of batteries. Tucked away, a bottle of expired soda still sits out of place. Its label faded. I don't like tuna. I don't. A pair of liquor containers, both named Jerry. Of course. You were in there for quite a long time. Despite the trouble you'll be in, you know it's worth your while. Well, let's go back to town, shall we? Hypothesis complete. I guess these three will come in a future update. Concluding melody, a short and sweet final tune at the end of your adventure. Hypothetically, what would the final credits of Deltarune look and sound like, assuming the game has a happy ending? However, the full team has grown since Chapter 2's release and isn't full of public. We apologize for anything overlooked. If you notice okay. Alright, Kris does play the piano sometimes, don't they? Uh, Kris, Susie, and Noelle. That's cute. Kris and Bertley playing video games together. I wonder what they're playing. Of course. The fun gang playing pranks on each other. Well, without Rousey anyway. Well, speaking of Rousey, there he is. That's in the Acid Tunnel of Love in chapter 2. What else we got? Dark World, Kris, Susie, and Rousey. How long have you been hiding this piano talent from us? That was beautiful, Kris. No kidding. Kinda makes me want to try. You should give it a shot, Susie. Who knows? You may have some hidden talent yourself. Oh, sure. It's just pressing keys, right? Okay, yeah. Guess piano isn't my thing. That wasn't a bad first try. You'll always start somewhere. Hypothesis complete. I guess, successfully obtain a what's the oh, right. Experiment log 008 Introduction. Objective: become acquainted with the Deltarune simulation and understand how it runs with little to no host influence. Document the timeline of events that occur and find a suitable vessel to integrate host control onto. Hypothesis: if the Deltarune simulation runs on a guaranteed timeline of events in each iteration, then it should be possible to affect the timeline of events with the host in control. However, if the Deltarune simulation does not follow the strict timeline rule set, further experiments shall be necessary. Experiment design. Run multiple iterations of the simulation without any host control. Plot any repeated events or actions and check how the simulation runs without interference. Run a single simulation for an extended period of time to deduce how longer iterations of the simulation act and if any issues crop up. Begin searching the simulation for suitable entities that can facilitate the host control without changing too much. Expected results: a consistent timeline of events, a suitable host to govern the control. 00B Discovery. Logged information. While actively testing basic host controls with smaller bodies in the simulation, we embarked on a mission to explore the surrounding environment. In this simulation instance, we took the form of what we believed to be a common household fly. Due to the limitations and inexperience, we have not yet successfully enabled the host to consume food to sustain itself. Without nourishment, we could only last 2 or 3 days per instance at most. Nevertheless, we've used multiple simulation instances to explore the environment and map out its common landmarks. Our findings have provided valuable information. The environment consistently resembles a small urban town in the fall season. It appears only monsters and humans inhabit the simulation. No other types of beings have been documented so far. There is a possibility that humans and monsters coexisted in peace, although only one human has been observed in the simulation so far. Most The most intriguing discovery is that the simulation is generating memories for entities that never occurred. We've been racking our minds about how this is possible. Where could it have been pulling this data from? Is it truly out of our control? Is there more we have yet to uncover? 01A Scope Creep. When we first began our test, many of us assumed this was a simple simulation of a functioning world similar to our home. Though our combined memory may be fuzzy, we have many shared feelings of nostalgia when encountering specific entities in the simulation. The simulation was running as normal. We were sticking to the original daily routine of Kris as we were still experimenting with sustained host control. One day, Kris entered their school classroom as usual and was asked with fetching chalk from the school supply closet alongside Susie. Normally, Kris would simply walk to the supply closet and grab a single piece of chalk. Additionally, Susie would consume the rest of the chalk in the box, leaving her clothes covered in dust and revealing her odd habits to everyone. Not this time. Something went wrong. Upon entering the supply closet, the two fell. It seemed out of bounds. It took quite a while for the revision to return, but when it did, the simulation abruptly crashed. The only thing we managed to see briefly was a gloomy, stony environment shrouded in darkness. Sound of nothing. Well, I guess it lives up to the title. Connection issue. I've been struggling to connect to our network for a while now. Nothing I send ever gets received on their end. Normally I'd be worrying about that by now. The thought of being alone in this nothingness has always been a constant fear of mine. Not anymore. I'm not alone anymore. I was given access to the simulation before the network disconnected. Now they can't force me off. I have full control. I'll show them all once the network is back. The wealth of knowledge that I have from the experiment they denied. I can't wait to shove it in their faces. In the extras? Behind the scenes. We are grateful to be a part of Under Event 2024 and want to personally thank the UE team for giving us this opportunity. Behind the scenes of the 3D shots of the UE trailer. I wonder how Under Events is going to conclude next year. Development Insight Part 1. Beginning. Initial development and planning began March 21st, 2024, as originally... Sorry. As originally a small fan game that would have been the overworlds and ogres hypothetical only. expansion. As development went on, the scope grew as more ideas for other hypotheticals started getting tossed around. Instead of making each one a separate game, which would come with a whole host of other issues, like having to update each individual one if issues arise, the choice was to make each of these hypotheticals packed into one singular experience. Yeah, that makes sense. Planning. After the choice to pack all the planned hypotheticals into one game was made, next was to come up with a way to tie them all together. Having all the hypotheticals be quite literally scientific hypotheticals for a simulation of the Deltarune universe seemed like a fun idea. On top of that, writing concepts for logs related to other hypotheses carried out by the player character. Future. So what's next? The plan going forward is continue working on more hypotheticals and logs up until the next 2 Deltarune chapters release. Then we'll finish the hypotheticals being worked on and take a break, so we can take in all the additional content and story. This will be used to make future hypotheticals plans more accurate. At some point in the future, the game will be open source too. Woo! Well, that's good. And I already read the fun facts. And the credits. Up rank, director, composer, programmer, writer, 2D, 3D artist. Think I missed my low poly PS1 retro indie horror game. Puzzle Rat. Composer, writing assistance, playtester. I remember your game development. Of course, somebody had to reference that meme. I remember your Genos meme. Trashy? Playtester. Chera, apparition in Sans' room. Philo. Playtester. The first rule is cardio. How do I... Now I get it. Abby Gonzalez. Creator of the Open Dyslexic Font. Socials, abbygonzalez.com. And I think that's going to be it for this video. I might go back to these 3 and try to complete them in a future video. But that's about it for now, and thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Right, bye.